English Grammar Focus Grade 8.
Unit 1, Leisure Activities.
Activity 1. Listen and write true or false for each statement. Online games bring lots of disadvantages. Most parents object to their children playing online games because they are afraid that children will become addicted to it. Secondly, being addicted to online games may cause many terrible things. The first one, it will affect your learning attitude. Once children played online games too much, they would have to skip the class or be unable to concentrate on their studies. Second, it may affect your relationship. At this time, the relationship between children and their family and friends gets worse because they don't have time for their friends and family. Thirdly, the most important one, it may harm their health. According to investigations, there are more and more teenagers wearing glasses because of spending too much time looking at computer screens. Besides, it is also very harmful for their backbone. It can cause many terrible diseases. In short, it is important to control the time spent on playing online games if we can't give them up immediately.
Activity 2. Listen and complete the dialogue.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Can I speak to Pete, please?
Hello, Linda.
I'm going to see the movie Dream City at 6:45 this evening. Would you like to come?
Of course. But wait a minute. I have to ask my aunt and she's downstairs. Hold on. Okay, Linda. Aunt Mary says I can go. Oh, where's it on?
At National Cinema Centre. It's a bit far from your house, I'm afraid.
Well, I know where it is, but I'm using my cousin's bike tonight.
Okay, Pete. Let's meet outside the theatre.
Is 6:30 all right?
That's fine. See you at 6:30. Bye.
Bye, Linda. Unit 2. Life in the Countryside. Activity 1. Listen and decide whether the statements are true or false. The city and the country. How do you like living in a big city?
There are many things that are better than living in the countryside.
Can you give me some examples?
Well, it's certainly more interesting than the country. There is so much to do and see.
Yes, but the city is more dangerous than the country.
That's true. People in the city aren't as open and friendly as those in the countryside.
I'm sure that the country is more relaxing, too.
Yes, the city is busier than the country. However, the country is much slower than the city.
I think that's a good thing.
Oh, I don't. The countryside is so slow and boring. It's much more boring than the city.
How about the cost of living? Is the country cheaper than the city?
Oh, yes, the city is more expensive than the country.
Life in the country is also much healthier than the city.
Yes, it's cleaner and less dangerous in the country, but the city is so much more exciting. It's faster, crazier, and more fun than the country.
Activity 2. Listen, then fill in the blanks. My name is Nhằm. Last weekend, I visited the countryside with my classmates. The place is not very far from our town. We came there by a bus, a journey of 2 hours. On arriving there, we went straight to our friend's house. He is Trọng, whose parents are farmers living in the countryside. We drank coconut milk and ate a lot of country pancakes. After that, we went flying kites in a paddy field Then we went swimming in the river near Trum's house. We played games together. Finally, in the afternoon, we left the countryside for the town and reached home at about 6 p.m. We really had a lot of fun. The countryside is wonderful to me. It has more beautiful and interesting places than in the town. Unit 3. People of Vietnam.
Activity 1. Write T or F for each statement. Today's talk is about the Tay ethnic group. The Tay have been present in Vietnam for millennia, perhaps as early as 500 BC. The Tay are farmers who have a long tradition of wet rice cultivation. They have a long history of intensive cultivation and irrigation methods like digging canals, laying water pipes, and so on. They also maintain the custom of harvesting the rice and thrashing the grains out on wooden racks, which they call long, while still in the fields, then carrying the thrashed rice home in baskets. In addition to cultivating wet fields, they also plant rice on terraced fields along with other crops and fruit trees. Cattle and poultry raising are well developed, but a free-range style of animal husbandry is still popular. Household crafts are worthy note. The most famous Tay craft is weaving brocaded designs of beautiful and original patterns, which are highly prized. The market is also an important economic activity.
Activity 2. Listen carefully and then fill in the blanks. The people of Vietnam have a unique and fascinating culture that has been shaped by thousands of years of history. Vietnamese culture has been influenced by many other civilizations. The ancient people that once inhabited the land, the Chinese, the French, and most recently, the Americans and Russians. From all these outside influences and centuries of war, oppression and hardship, they have formed and maintained their culture. The people of Vietnam are hardworking and feel strong ties to their families. They are well versed in the arts and have made several contributions to the world of literature. Aside from their painful history, the Vietnamese people have a culture and many customs all their own. Unit 4. Our customs and traditions.
Activity 1. Listen and then tick your answer. Although people in both northern and southern areas of Vietnam visit pagodas with the same purpose and the same meaning of this lofty tradition, the way they conduct this activity is of some difference. Northern Vietnamese seem to be more sophisticated in this spiritual custom, in which a long list of items ranging from pork meat roll and chicken, of fruits, flowers, incense, hell notes, real money and petition, note written in Sir script with wishes for the new year. When praying, people speak their wishes like a folk song with a rhyme and tune. On the other hand, southern people do not often bring so many offering items to pagodas, nor pray in rhyme and tune. They simply ask for what they wish for, and this is called cam nom. No matter how different they are in the two areas, the noble tradition of visiting pagodas retains its real meaning, in which any barrier of age, status or sex is eliminated. Everyone unites there in a mutual spiritual world.
Activity 2. Listen and complete the sentence. A Vietnamese engagement ceremony is an important ceremony before the wedding, which involves both the bride and the groom's families. On the engagement day, the groom's family brings the gifts to the bride's family with a warm welcome. After receiving the gifts, the young couple prays in front of the bride's family altar to ask for the approval of their ancestors. When this ritual finishes, the groom gives the bride the engagement ring. Following the engagement ring giving, both representatives introduce the members of both families in an order. Then both the families enjoy the party, which is prepared by the bride's family. It is also expected that some of the gifts are returned to the groom's family for luck before they leave. In the days after the engagement ceremony and the wedding ceremony, the parents of the bride's family bring the wedding cards with gifts to their friends, family members, and neighbors to invite them to the wedding party of the young couple. Unit 5. Festivals.
Activity 1. Listen carefully, then fill in the blanks. There are many interesting pagodas, caves and grottos in Huang Son. Among them include Long Man, Tuet Son, Hing Bong, and so forth. The Ong Bay, Sung Sam cave, 2 kilometers from the Long Man Pagoda, still retains traces of ancient people some tens of thousands of years ago. Unlike any other places, Huang Pagoda harmonizes the character of a Buddhist architectural complex with the impressive natural beauty. Coming here, tourists have the chance to live in a boisterous atmosphere of a spring festival amidst beautiful landscape. They seem to be free from all tiredness and sorrow and come to pay respect to the compassionate Buddha.
Activity 2. Listen and decide whether the statements are true or false. Tet is a national and traditional feast in Vietnam. It is an occasion for every Vietnamese to be reunited, to think about their past activities, and hope for good luck in the year to come. Before Tet, all houses are whitewashed and decorated with yellow apricot flowers and colorful lanterns. Everybody is looking forward to a more favorable life. On New Year's Eve, children are smartly dressed. They are hoping to receive money put in small red envelopes as they are wishing longevity to their grandparents and parents. Wrongdoing should be absolutely avoided on these days. Unit 6. Folk Tales.
Activity 1. Listen, then fill in each numbered with a suitable word. An old couple living in the Japanese countryside was lonely because they had no children. As the old lady was washing their clothes by the river, a giant peach came floating down the stream. She brought him to the husband, and when they prepared to cut it open, a baby boy screamed from inside the peach. They raised him as their son. At age 15, he left to conquer the evil ogres at Ogre Island. His father gave him a sword and armor, and his mother gave him dumplings. Along the way, he met a dog, a monkey, and a pheasant. He gave each a dumpling, and they joined him to fight the ogres. The pheasant pecked at their eyes, the monkey clawed them, and the dog bit them. The ogres succumbed to Momotaro and gave up their treasures. Momotaro returned home, his family became rich, and the ogres did not seem to cause them any more harm.
Activity 2. Listen carefully and choose the correct option, A, B, C, or D. The Sharing Man. Once there lived an old man who had no money. He ate what he found on the land. He shared his food with the animals and birds around him. One winter, he sat with his head in his hands. "I can't find any food on the land," he cried. "The mushrooms are gone. The dandelions and berries are gone. I will starve." But the forest fairy heard his cry. She spoke to the squirrels and birds. "Your friend needs your help now," she said. The squirrels brought nuts from hiding places in the trees. The birds brought dried berries from hiding places in the ground. "Here," they said to the man, "share our food." The foxes curled up to warm the old man's feet, and the deer nestled beside him. The man ate the nuts and berries, warm and happy with his friends.